Before we get into the presentation, I just want to say hi to everyone and thank you for taking time out to be present today. I hope by the end we all have something to take back from this presentation. Okay, I'm just gonna have a quick glance at the votes. So I can see 50% of you have said yes, you'll do use a reservation system, and the other have said no. That's quite interesting to know. Let's go on and let me introduce you to IDS. So IDS, as we all know, is a 3-decade-old company. It's Asia's largest hospitality software solution provider, providing 24/7 support in 30 different languages, having over 220 hotel chains, 25,000 plus POS outlets, 6,500 banquets, and a whole other bunch of stuff. Another important thing about IDS is that we also are present in three different industries, three entire verticals, providing full stack solutions to hotels, restaurants, as well as the leisure industry. Our restaurant ERP solution consists of FXBYT, which is what the webinar is based on today. And it also consists of a number of other products, such as the POS line of products that we have, providing a cloud-based, a hybrid solution, as well as an on-prem solution, a material management solution, mobile-friendly applications for online ordering from a customer point of view, as well as from the steward side of it. We also have an analytics application, a sales and catering solution, and a wallet solution. Now, introducing you to FXBYT, I'm going to give you some insights on a product which we've come out with in the recent years, which has taken the industry by storm. Some of the areas we will be covering in today's presentation are the types of reservation systems that exist, analyzing the challenges faced by these reservation systems and restaurants, what FXBYT really is, the benefits of using the solution, what channel managements are, and what are the benefits of using these channel management integrations, as well as how we are a POS agnostic solution providing communications to your customers. Now let's get into analyzing the different kind of groups that we have classified reservation solutions into, right? So to start with, we have the pen and paper, the paper-friendly method, which are restaurants who are basically they follow the oldest and most widely used method of maintaining a reservation list. These are the restaurants who maintain a record on pen and paper. Or when it comes to reservations, most of the times they use a pencil so that they can simply erase out the cancellations or corrections that have to be made. The pros are, of course, that it comes free of cost and although simple, you can be extremely efficient in managing reservation information. The cons, however, outweigh the pros. You see, when it comes to keeping track of guests, their visits, spends, allergies, these restaurants lose out. Additionally, the host also has to maintain an inventory for each table reservation site that the restaurant has been listed on. The next group are part of digital data. They normally you would see them maintaining in Excel, tracking the reservations and guests. These are capable of managing guest information and have a better track of inventory as compared to the paper-friendly group. There are far too many cons as compared to the pros. The biggest con being data theft and loss, whether intentional or accident. Other than this, having no POS integration or integration with a table reservation system once again has a lot of manual intervention that is required from the staff. Committed to a single aggregator. These are these are restaurants who are using cloud-based solutions. Sorry about that. Provided to them by the table reservation aggregator who offers them solutions at probably an extremely low fees or coerces them with a minimum number of reservations that they will provide on a monthly basis. The cons, however, are that the minute you decide on switching aggregators or probably having more than one aggregator linked, you would notice that the footfalls that you were getting would drastically reduce. This is because the aggregator who you had chose to go with can now simply push those same reservations to another restaurant where they've done a deal similar to what they had done with you earlier. Again, over here, not having a POS integration is a pain point when it comes to building your own database. No commitments to a single aggregator. Now, these guys are similar to the ones who have a aggregator integration. The only thing is that they use multiple aggregators. So once again, they're cloud-based. solutions that are being used. And over here, the negatives are that your inventory is being shared not just with one aggregator, but with multiple. And depending on the way you're sharing your inventory, you might have to have a lot of manual intervention where you go and you basically, if a table is listed on channel A and it's also on channel B, you have to, and channel A has received a booking for that table. You now have to go to channel B and say that, okay, this table is not available anymore. Another con is the lack of a POS integration. All right. Finally, we come to the reservation kings or the res king, as I like to call them. Now, this group is the ones who understand the importance of not just integrating with table aggregators, but using an independent solution that can manage all these aggregators. They create a single customer profile, have a point of sale integration, and they have the ability to communicate with the customers. Okay, now that I've explained to you the different groups of reservations that we have, let's take another poll. All right, so the poll should have popped up on your screens right now. If you all can just vote under which bracket does your restaurant fall? Okay, I can see someone's already voted for the Mr. DIY option. All right, we're getting in some votes now. Okay, there's someone who's using multiple reservation channels. There's someone who's using a product which integrates with everything. Okay, great. Okay, so it's a really broken up field right now where you can see we've got 5 responses and everyone, there's just one response for each. That's pretty interesting to know. We've got a little bit of everyone over here. Okay, let's go ahead. So, what are the current challenges faced by the restaurants? Of course, no customer data in hand. This is mainly to do with those restaurants who are using either the paper-friendly method, paper-friendly method. They're using aggregators, but these aggregators are not necessarily handing over all the customer data to them. Table inventories at the mercy of aggregators. Oof, this is a big one. This is basically what happened to the online travel agents did to the reservation, the rooms department in the early 2000s, where they would take the entire inventory and then based on that, they would be able to see real-time data of how occupied each hotel was on a particular day, week, month. And basis that, they started pushing hotels to start giving discounts. We see that slowly creeping into the restaurant industry as well. Relying heavily on the host to manage reservations. Today, if your restaurant is busy and your host is not around, I can assure you your manager is having a tough time to manage the reservations. Simply because today, without a solution in place, you're skipping from one screen to another screen to manage channel A, channel B, channel C. Plus, if you've got written down reservations, you have to skip through the pages, understand how available or unavailable your restaurant tables really are. It's a big challenge that these guys are facing today. Managing multiple aggregator pages, like I just mentioned, having to skip from one page to another page to keep seeing which tables are available, whose reservation is coming from where. No POS integration. POS integrations are not just a one-way street, where you send them the information that, oh, so-and-so customer is seated at this table. It's more of a two-way communication where your POS will send back information as to the bill number, the bill amount, to identify these large spenders who are coming to your restaurants at different locations. Limited communication with customers. This is another big one. A lot of times, what we face today, sorry, just need to get rid of this notification. My bad. Yeah. For long, we have related to aggregators sending out messages to customers on our behalf, but it's not a two-way communication, and nor does your brand get the visibility it should. Besides, you cannot utilize this chat for sending any other marketing material as it's not in your control. Overbooking. Yep. Many times outlets get overbooked as the team was unable to manage inventory across platforms. Or worse, underbooked because you simply don't list your entire inventory on all these platforms so that you don't have bookings that are, piling up one on top of the other. Difficult to create and manage a centralized customer profile. Imagine you're getting a reservation for the same person from channel A, channel B, as well as from a call, of course, on different dates. But at the end of the day, it's a single profile. Now, you have to spool data from all your different portals as well as from wherever you're taking down your own reservations and create a list that will have, okay, this is the same mobile number I've identified. Now I have to merge these people. Imagine a system did that for you. Wouldn't life be much easier? And lastly, the inability to highlight allergies, ratings, and flags. You need to identify your customers, you need to know who they are, and you need to be able to highlight these particular things to know your customer better, to make them feel that, okay, these guys really care about me. Now that we've spoken about the restaurants and the challenges faced by the restaurants, let's also speak about some of the challenges that customers face. No recognition and repeat visits. Yeah. How often is it that you go back to the same restaurant where you've probably been 10 times, but no one knows who you are, right? Wouldn't you like to have that little bit of recognition coming? No prompt communication. A confirmation message, a reconfirmation confirmation message today is so important. Additionally, imagine you didn't show up for your reservation and you were communicated to by the restaurant saying, hey, you guys y'all didn't show up for the reservation. I hope everything's okay. See, these are small things that will really matter to a customer and make him feel that the brand really cares. The need to constantly remind about allergies and special dietary requests. Well, allergies are quite the killers, quite literally. So it's important for us to constantly, as customers, mention whether we're allergic to something or not. And you'd see this in fine dine restaurants where the staff will come up to you and ask if you have any allergies. But in smaller places, we rarely see this happening. In fact, as per the FSSAI guidelines, it's now mandatory to mention allergies and allergens against each menu item. Not a lot of us do that today. Overbooking and underbooking, again, as mentioned earlier, for restaurants, there's a restaurant point of view to it. There's also a customer point of view to it. Because imagine you've booked a table well in advance, but you have to come and now you have to wait for long hours simply because the reservation team could not manage the reservations coming in, you know? And lastly, we have the no clarity on waiting time or waitlisting. How often is it that you go to a restaurant and you've been asked to stand outside for a bit till the table's available? How long is the table going to be available? Sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes 10, sometimes even 20, 25. Yeah. But what are they saying this time on? They're just having a look inside. Okay, this table looks like it's going to get empty, but they don't have a screen in front of them telling them that, oh, look, this table is currently going through, they're getting the billing going on, they're going through the settlement, they're ordering food. These are kind of things that would have helped the staff answer the customer better in terms of how long it would take to wait. All right, let me take a break from speaking for a bit and let us go through the achievements of 2023, what BYD has achieved in 2023. So that lovely little video, I'm sure if you'll follow us on our LinkedIn or our social medias, you'll have already seen this. We achieved 1 million customers that we cater to, which is, sorry, 1 million reservations that we cater to, which is a really big deal for us. And I hope y'all can appreciate that as well. Sorry about that. Let me now finally get into what is FX BYD really. So, simply put, we're a cloud-based solution that can operate on any operating system, whether iOS, Android, Linux, doesn't matter, as long as the screen is 8 inches. So it can be a tablet, a laptop, doesn't matter. We need a browser connection, an 8-inch screen, you're good to go. It's scalable, it's customizable, you can use it the way you want, whether it's a standalone restaurant, a chain of restaurants, a group of hotels using it. We've done it all already. We've also got Active Directory authentication enabled for additional security. And let me tell you, we're the only ones in the country today doing this. Since BYT is not just a table reservation system, but it's also a channel management solution, we don't really call ourselves only a table reservation system. We are much more than that. We can capture walk-in reservations, we can capture reservations via call, we can also capture reservations coming in via your website. What we've also added in this year is a Google integration. So now you can directly reserve a table on Google and it'll straight away come into the system. I'll get into that as we go on to the presentation. Now over here, I know the picture is pretty small, but what you can see is just your outlet layout along with a list of reservations on the side. We've got a color coordinated as well as a full grid, which tells you each status for the reservation and from where each reservation has come in. So as you can tell, it's easy to understand. You can see the availability, cancellations, no shows. You can capture and manage wait listing, and having a simple and automated communications while going via WhatsApp, SMS, email, it makes life much easier. You can create a centralized customer profile that can track customers, their visit history, their spends, dietary restrictions, rankings, and more. So basically, all the cons I just told you about, we've taken care of them all. Here are some of the brands that we work with today. So I'm sure you can identify a few which are very well known. We also have a large list which we've not been able to put up simply because we didn't want to have logos which are too small and tiny. I'll give you all a minute to just take this in before getting ahead. Right? Just a little bit of stats, some analytics. Did you know that 47% of restaurant consumers said making reservations online was easier than making a restaurant reservation in any other way? So basically what they're saying is, yeah, we would like to use a website, we would like to use a Google, a Zomato, an Easy Diner. We don't necessarily want to call you to make a reservation, which works for us because we can handle everything. On the other hand, we have 65% of those who have made an online reservation said that they were at least somewhat satisfied with the experience. And I guess 65% is quite a large number. It's pretty good. These are, of course, all sourced by the webinar care, and it's not just coming out from me. What are the benefits of using a BYT kind of solution, or rather just BYT? Well, we've got reservation management. Like I explained earlier, we can manage your reservations. We have channel management because we can manage your Google, a Zomato, an Easy Diner, websites, online reservations, again, similar to channel management. Table availability, it tells you real-time table availability. It also tells these channels real-time table availability. So the benefit here is that if you are listing on a Zomato or an Easy Diner or a Google, what happens is every time a reservation is coming from one of them, it checks in your system whether the table is available or not, and then gives a response. Mind you, you can also set a number of tables that you want to give to each of these channels. So supposing you want to give your whole inventory, you can. But if you want to give only 2 tables on a Monday and 5 tables on a weekend, up to you. Waitlist management. Like I shared earlier, since we're able to see the entire operations of the restaurant on a single screen, you're able to see which outlet is busy, which table is busy, sorry, which one is getting vacant soon. Lets you manage your waitlisting as well. Guest profile creation, again, as I shared earlier, you have a consolidated profile for all your channels because it's based on the mobile number that is coming to us. Real-time updates. Tablet accessibility, like I shared about the screens, the screen size, as long as it's an 8-inch screen, it'll work. Floor plan visualization. You can have different floor plans put out in the product. It works perfectly well. We have restaurants who are using 3 to 4 different floors that they've configured in one restaurant. So what that does is it just breaks up the floor and shows you table 1 to 10 are on floor 1, table whatever 21 to 30 are on floor 2, and so on. The staff at the desk simply has to just scroll and they can see which floor is available, which floor is busy, and have the reservation positioned on that particular table. Basically, you can have BYT working, let's say, at 10 of your restaurants, and you can be based out of another city altogether, have a call center who's managing your reservations from here, pushing them to those 10 different restaurants as well. Integration with POS systems, although I will spend more time on this in a coming slide, just to say that we have multiple integrations. We also have open APIs and connections so that we can connect with any POS of your choice. Customizations, like I mentioned, being so scalable for single restaurants and like a single restaurant, standalone restaurant, or a chain of restaurants, we have a lot of customizations to offer. Security and compliance, of course, as I mentioned, with the AD authentication, it really works for larger brands. APIs for integration with not just your point of sale solutions, but also with communication partners for WhatsApp, SMS, email, and of course for receiving reservations from new partners such as a Google. Speaking of Google, let me get into the reserve with Google better way. It's quite simple. How it works is each customer has to only open Google Maps. Sorry, no. Are y'all able to see the screen? One sec. It's frozen for me. Okay. So the integration with Google, it works fairly simple. Any of you having used Google for table reservations before, I guess you all already know what to do. Just have to go to Google Maps, search for the restaurant's name, and you'll see a little box at the bottom which says reserve a table. On clicking that, it'll show you all your details which you've used to log into Google with already. It'll show you the available time slot for the particular date you've selected and the number of people. And based on that, a reservation can be created. As soon as the reservation is created, Google sends out an email to the customer from Google's end, confirming that the reservation is created. The restaurant, on the other hand, in their screen, they will see that, okay, a reservation from Google has come. It's for so and so date, for so and so time. This is the number of people. They can choose to cancel it. If they cancel it, the customer gets another email saying your reservation has been cancelled. If not, then of course the customer can go visit the outlet, have a great meal. Yeah. At the end, Google will even send a review link to that customer. We have other integrations with Zomato and Easy Diner. They work on the same grounds and principles as I shared earlier. You can decide how many tables you want to give to them or whether you want to give your entire inventory to them, based on which it will accept reservations. All right. So what is the benefit of using these channel partners? Of course, we have the visibility aspect, wherein these channel partners give us far more visibility than you would normally be able to get from your own social media. You have the convenience aspect of it. Customers today, everything is convenience, right? You want to sit at home, you want to order food from some place, it's going to be there in 20 minutes. Yep, that's what you want. You don't want to go anywhere anymore sometimes. So similarly, when you're reserving a table, easier to book it on the click of a button than to call up or to physically go and reserve a table. Real-time availability. So there's going to be no chance of an overbooking taking place because everything is based on real-time availability. It's going to check with the system whether a table is available or not before taking the reservation. Accessibility, similar to convenience, easy to access from anywhere, mobile, tablet, laptop, you name it. Increased number of bookings. Of course, having listed on multiple different partners such as a Zomato, an Easy Diner, and a Google, you're going to have far more influx of customers than you would normally have with just your own team trying to to market it and bring in reservations. Integration with Google Maps, as I shared, our integration with Google. Trust and credibility. Definitely, there are a lot of customers who trust one partner over the other and would want to use a particular partner, which is where the trust and credibility part comes in. All right. So let's talk about being POS agnostic. What this means is, although we are connected with our line of point of sale solutions, we also have an open API for connecting with your choice of POS. If you're using a different POS that you want us to connect with, we're ready to do that. We have an open library of APIs which we can share with the POS vendor. They can call our information, they can get the guest details into the point of sale system, and then pass it back to the table reservation system. Communication. We've got partners for WhatsApp, SMS, email that we've already signed up with. We also have ready integrations to go for other partners to integrate with and take it forward. Communicating with your customers is a great way to build relationships, to maintain rapport, and for marketing especially, it's great because you can then control what kind of messages you send out to your customers. A message doesn't have to go only for a confirmation or a thank you for visiting us. You can send out a message saying, hey, I've not seen you in a while. I hope you're going to come soon. Here's a link to create a reservation, or here's a number to call and give us a reservation. Things like that. Conclude, the restaurant industry is evolving and new solutions have become crucial. Make reservations more efficient, decrease no-shows, improve the table turnover, and boost customer satisfaction. Adopting solutions like BYT can substantially enhance potential by establishing efficient reservation management, better channel control, and improve communication with guests. This in turn leads to an increased revenue for your business. All right. So we're through with the webinar and we're open for questions if any. You can simply raise your hand. My team member will help you unmute and you can ask any questions that you'll have.
We have AJ who's raised his hand for a question. Let me see if I can unmute him. AJ, please go ahead with your question.
Hi, good evening. I am audible to you?
Yeah.
Okay. And actually, my question is, the customer, they are the one reserve. How they can reserve this one? Like, suppose they want to reserve a table.
So,
How they
sorry,
want
I didn't hear you. Can you repeat?
the customer, they want to reserve. Suppose I have my restaurant is located in Ernakulam. The customer, they want to reserve like my restaurant one table. How they can do it? And how you will get the notification?
Okay. So if you are listed on, let's say, Google or Zomato, will happen is the customer will create the reservation over there and it will come straight to the system itself. If you don't have Zomato, Google, or you have your own website, you can even, we have APIs where your website can basically call the table availability, check reservations into the system. And of course, if someone is called to make a reservation, he can add that as well. So the minute someone calls to make a reservation, you'll enter the mobile number into the system. The system will check the database whether this person has created a reservation before with you or not. Okay.
Actually,
If a reservation has been created before, then person's details. Sorry, you're saying something?
We, suppose actually that we need to be including in the like a Google Maps. The additionally we need to add the reservation icon, something like this in our Google Map, or they can book through the directly in our website.
We can do it with Google. Yeah.
No,
So
actually,
the customer, if you are giving, sorry, please finish then I'll start.
or they need to book through our website, like hotel, the restaurant website, or they can book through the Google Map.
Yes, if you want the customer to make bookings directly with you and not call and make a booking, then they can use Google, your website, or like I said, Zomato is the Easy Diners also there.
Okay. They saw the platform there can use, right? Okay.
Yes. Okay, I think the chat as well. Okay. Yeah, what about the integration with platforms? So we don't have any integration with an Instagram or Facebook. We don't have any integrations with those platforms as such. Uh, Other API available for integrating with other software solutions? Yes, like I mentioned, we can connect with other vendors for reservations. We also have other like basically things which we can connect with our open set of APIs. And VYT be used outside India with different time zones. Yeah, BYT can be used outside India with other time zones as well. There's no challenge. We already have customers in countries such as Sri Lanka, the Middle East. Okay. Any other? Sorry. Solution user friendly for. Sorry, I'm. Solution user friendly for restaurant employees. Do they need any specific training to work the system? You would need a basic round of training to be conducted for staff to use the solution. But I guess after using the solution, maybe after one training, they wouldn't require it. The main thing is the configuration. Once your solution is configured, then to just look at the system and understand who is coming, like from which channel is very simple. It's very straightforward. It's not a very complex solution. Uh, so in that sense, I would say yes, you need a little bit of training, but extensive. What about the advance and refund section in booking? Uh, Advance and refund is something that we do not handle. The system does not handle any advance payments or refunds simply because of the GST part of it, which we are working on. But I do not have a definite date to share right now over call saying it would be released on so and so date. We have certain fields which are being used by other restaurants to capture this information, store it with them. And what these restaurants particularly do is, so we have a lot of different statuses. A reservation can be in a confirmed status, confirmed status. So what happens? The restaurant who is relying on receiving a kind of advance before they make the reservation. They keep it in the reservation notes. So I have a section called reservation note, in which you will mention that so and so was transaction ID, so and so link has been sent. We have to collect X amount from this particular person. And the minute it comes in, you can always update that information saying, okay, amount is received, reservation status has been changed from let's say an unallocated to a confirmed or a reconfirmed. How can how can be integrated with brand website? They need to design the page create front end for guests. So each website having its own theme would have to make the page themselves. We give a simple set of APIs which can be called by the website vendor directly, and they can make the reservation from there and update in databases. So as I mentioned, because have we don't have any integration for payments, we don't a payment into the system. This is manually done. So like I was saying that we will the reservation notes, right? That is there. Now these are notes that the staff has to input on their own. So once the payment comes, it has to be updated saying that okay, payment has been received from so and so person. And then you can change the reservation status. All right. Zomato and Swiggy offer discounts either from their end or wallets they partner with on payments if made from the platform post dining, which are customer friendly. How does BYT work on this aspect? So currently we have an integration with Zomato for table reservations. We do not have any kind of integration with them for Zomato Gold, which is their the deals part of it that they offer. With Swiggy, we do not have an integration. So since Swiggy has recently only taken over Dine Out, they have disconnected the available integration as they're going to rework the integration and give it to us. So when that happens, if they are ready to offer the payments and the offers part of it as well, then we would be happy to consume that. Right. Some good questions coming in. Nice. Any other questions? You can also raise your hands to unmute and speak if you'd like. Okay. Okay, all right. I guess we're through with the question and answer part of it. Uh, I would request you all to please scan this QR code on your phone and just submit some feedback to us. You can also let us know via the feedback URL whether you would like to see the product itself, because the webinar, of course, is just talking about what the table reservation system is. So if you would like to have a look at the product, arrange for a demo, then please scan this QR code, give us your valuable feedback, and let us know. I'll leave the screen for a couple of minutes before we can go ahead and finally conclude the call. All right. I hope everyone has scanned the QR and submitted their feedback. I'll be going and concluding. If anyone would wish to, you can please have a look at our website and get in touch with us over there.